everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMA session. Today we have FUSD with us today. FUSD aims to address the inefficiencies and limitations present in the traditional stablecoins and decentralized finance. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Nathan from the team. Nathan, pleasure to have you here. If you can go ahead and start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and giving us a bit of insight into your background experience.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for having us, buddy. I'll give you a bit of a breakdown on myself, and I'll let Drew and Adele kind of give you a little bit of information about them. My name's Nathan Hill. I come from a business consultancy and marketing background. Been in crypto for several years, trying to fix this space wherever we can. We currently have, within the Web3 industry, we own a number of brands. I own the largest printed crypto publication globally, which is Crypto Magazine. We're available in 20 countries around the world with an approximate 500,000 readers globally. I operate as a marketing consultant to various projects on an ad hoc basis. We have just launched Liquid NFTs, which is a true liquidity-backed NFT system, and I heavily believe in innovating in the space. I think too many people are doing the same thing, and unfortunately, a lot of what's being done doesn't quite work. So yeah, I'm not a techie at all. I'm 46 years old. I have owned and run my own marketing and business consultancy businesses in the real world for well over 26, 27 years. And consulting in the real world for a lot of incredibly large businesses, mainly in the franchise sector, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Subway, Metro Rod, these kind of brands. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'll pass over to Drew, and he can kind of give you a little bit of information about himself, and he can pass over to Adele. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having us. Like Nathan said, I'm Drew, co-founder of the FUSD ecosystem. By day, we always talk about real world and Web3 as if Web3 is imaginary, but I like to refer to myself as by day, I work in healthcare regulation, and by night, I'm full-blown in Web3. Working with the FUSD ecosystem. I have two brands myself, Milestone Millions and Game to Crypto. Been in Web3 for a number of years now, and met up with Nathan. Pretty much have known Nathan this entire time. Align well with his ideas of innovation and making this space safer and a space where people can come in and utilize Web3 the way it's supposed to be utilized. So here we are today. I'll pass it over to Adele.
Hi, folks. I'm Adele, or Deli. It's great to be here. So in the real world, I'm a business consultant. I run my own coaching and consultancy business, generally providing services into the financial services industry. I met Nathan and lots of his people when I was I guess you'd call me a whale investor in a failed token. And I was so incensed by that I decided that I needed to be part of the solution. So I kind of joined up with Nathan and Drew, and we co-founded what we're about to talk to you about today. And so yeah, very excited to be here. I'm not techie either. My speciality used to be picking rubbish tokens that didn't do anything. And so I guess the expertise I brought was having an understanding of why some of them went wrong. And it's been a great journey to get us to this point, and we're excited to share FUSD with you all. So thanks for having us.
I appreciate the introduction there, guys. When I look at your team, you guys got some really a lot of experience in business, right? Seems like Adele, you're from business consultant, same thing as Nathan as well. But not only that, you guys have been in the space for a very long time. And we will go dive deeper into all the marketing companies that and the Crypto Magazine that you guys are running as well, because I think those are very crucial, not just for your reputation, but also your experience in the space, not the Web 2, but also the Web 3. So I think that's very crucial. And we will dive into that. Now, this is a stable coins. Now, I think we all know what a stable coin is, and I think there are a lot out there, right? But this actually is very unique. The taxation mechanism is actually very unique. And one thing really stood out to me when I started reading about your white paper is that it's appreciating stablecoin, which is very, very unique. So before we go on, Nathan, you guys thought about this idea. You guys came up with this concept because you see the inefficiencies and limitations out there. So let's talk about the inefficiencies and limitations that you see out there, and what made you decide to create these coins, and we can go in depth from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, initially this, as Adele said, this came around from another failed token. It actually came off the back of the Crypto Magazine. We've never featured a rug or a scam in the magazine. And when it looked like the developers had walked away from this particular project that we had featured in the magazine, a lot of the community had reached out and said, look, do you think you could do anything with it? Now, unfortunately, Tokenomics didn't work. It was very much the same as a lot of other projects in this space. It had done incredibly well early on back in 2021. But it was very much the Tokenomics would always mean with one person that wins, someone else has to lose. So with kind of looking from a business aspect, you have to take this back to the drawing board and saying there's no point repeating the same failed system because it will go nowhere. I mean, with the we've got a dual token approach to this to sustain it. The FUST token, which is currently in pre-sale, it has more meme tokenomics, if you like, but that then, and I can explain in more detail, that actually feeds into paying rewards in an appreciating stable coin. So the rewards that you're always generating will always increase in value. So it actually really puts a unique spin on the whole ecosystem. But when you look at where you're talking about tokenomics, if you look at like that, what I would call degen tokenomics, there's huge chance that you can lose everything. Actually, more people at a rate of something like 99.9% of projects crash and burn and just are wiped off the face of the planet. But that's because of the tokenomics. That's because when someone sells at the top, it pulls the price down. Obviously, when someone buys at the bottom, it lifts the price up. But you're constantly recycling the same funds. When you're looking at stablecoin tokenomics, and actually when you go really into stable coins, they're very forefront, and this is what I think the SCA has a lot of issue with. They're not actually that stable. Yes, they track the price of the dollar, but even if we just assume they are completely stable and everyone can always redeem their tokens for $1, the problem with that is you don't buy these tokens as an investment. It's a way of you parking your funds, offboarding from one token back into another. But again, you wouldn't buy it as an investment because it's only ever going to be worth $1. What we've done is combine stablecoin tokenomics with a small taxation element. So we've combined the volatility of the meme token with the stability of stablecoin tokenomics and come up with a dual token approach.
Yes, so the taxation mechanism there is actually very unique. And like you said, there are many stablecoins out there, but it's usually one-to-one. And you guys put a 2.5 tax into the contract, correct? So it's 2% buy, 2% sell, correct?
Yes, it's currently 2.5 buy, 2.5 sell. So, I mean, effectively, if you know kind of how the stablecoin tokenomics work, it works like on a rebase system. So when one token is purchased, technically a new token is minted, and that $1 is held. When one token is sold, one token is burnt. So by rights, there is always the correct amount of liquidity to allow people to redeem at that $1. What we're doing with FUSD is we're adding that degen element to that stable coin. So the taxes, all the taxes do is a big chunk of that 2.5% goes straight back into the contract, which all that does is it adds more of the underlying asset, which increases everyone's token values. And we actually get a higher increase on sales than we do purchases. So we're very much in a unique situation where we want to consistently incentivize people to sell and spend their FUSD. It makes no sense for us to consistently incentivize people to hold. So we're the complete opposite to the way that this industry is currently working. Wherever you go, it's hold, hold, hold. We're going to go to the moon. We're not. We're going to be putting in active incentives to go, look, if you buy this token with FUSD, we will give you an additional this amount, or you can now use this to buy products over here. And every time that happens, the price of the token increases exponentially. But it can never, the phrase that we've kind of coined is whenever you buy this token, FUSD, it's always the lowest price you'll ever be able to buy it. And whenever you sell this token, it's always the highest price that it has ever been at that time. So you remove well, I'll wait and see if it dips a bit, because it's not going to dip. The tokenomics don't allow the price to go down. And there's kind of, if you're waiting to sell, you know that if you go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow, that token price will always be at a higher figure. So you can sleep at night. You've never got to go to bed and go, oh my Christ, is all of this liquidity going to be drained? Because the only tokens in existence are the tokens that have been purchased. And every time a token is purchased, there is additional 2.5% going in to increase the value of everyone's token. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Now, 2.5%, complete 2.5% that goes into to the collateral to increase the value, or did I read somewhere where 50% of that goes to development as well?
Yeah, we have the tax side of things. It funds both the increase in price. It funds a dripper system that we run, and that dripper consistently drips funds into the contract. So even without any volume, the price will keep going up. Because again, each time that drips money into the contract, it's not minting new tokens. So all that's doing is adding value to the other tokens that are already in existence. And then obviously, as every business, there needs to be a marketing and kind of development pool so that we can actually run the business as a business. So there's the only tokens that will ever exist with FUSD for the team are tokens that we've had to buy ourselves. There is no manual minting function. It's all minted automatically at point of purchase by the contract.
Correct. Now, in regards to the contract, this is on the BNB chain, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and let's dive into, since we're on the contract, have you guys got an audit on the contract?
Yeah, we've been audited. We're just waiting for the written audit to come back from Crypto Wolf. We will be running another audit with Solid Proof. I don't think you can ever have too many audits, and it has already been manually audited by a contract developer solidity coder. So Contract Wolf is our second, Crypto Wolf? I think that's our second audit, and we will be planning on doing another one with Solid Proof. But so far, so good. Everything's all tickety-boo.
Good. Yeah, I think the 2.5 taxation, I think it's not too high. I don't think that's going to deter high volume traders out there.
I mean, we have actually, we've allowed within the contract the flexibility that we can reduce those taxes down. This is very much volume based, but we also have a liquidity web that will be running alongside both tokens, both FUST and FUSD, and we will be running an arbitrage system. We estimate that every $10,000 worth of volume should be generating between $200 and $500 in arbitrage income. So we have a liquidity web set up. So instead of pairing all of our liquidity to BNB, we will have 4 or 5 pairs of smaller pools, but the arbitrage bot will actually arbitrage the volatility of those pairs and keep the price the same and consistently increasing across all pairs. That income that we pull in from the arbitrage bot again gets split in the same way into the contract to increase the price, and into the dripper function that then feeds the price even further.
Correct.
A very, very unique system. In my kind of 5-6 years in this space, I've never come across, and I'm very lucky that due to obviously the Crypto Magazine, where I'm very privileged to be able to speak to some huge players in this industry. And before we ever launch any business, I always run things past investors. I run them past other project owners, and I go, look, I just want an honest approach. I speak to developers, tokenomics experts. And so far, touch wood, we've not had any bad feedback. The general feedback we've had is, why the hell isn't this already a thing? Like stability of a stable coin, but the potential growth of a meme coin, you combine the two. So yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of kind of research and analysis just to make sure that this is something that other people think will work. We've actually got a lot of tokens that are now very keen to actually lock their liquidity, move their liquidity that they have in USDT and put it into FUSD. We're actually talking to people that have their liquidity and say, I'd move everything from BNB because we won't get that downward action if they pair their token with it. When BNB drops, their price won't. It will only continue to go up because their liquidity is now paired against FUSD. So it's really quite clever when you look at the mechanics of it.
Yeah, I think the mechanic is actually very unique, right? Like you said, it's actually appreciating just because you got the drip function adding to the contract hourly. Now, let me ask you that for the arbitrage, how much of the profit is being added to the FUSD contract?
Everything is split because, of course, one thing we haven't touched on as well is the FUST side, which is ultimately everything leads back to FUSD, the appreciating stablecoin. But of course, FUST is the token that's currently on pre-sale at the moment. That's the more degen tokenomics. But we have built a DApp, a mining system. It's called the Fusion Miner. And within the fused ecosystem, you ultimately, if you hold FUST, you can plug that into the miner. So you basically lock FUST into the mining system, and that just consistently churns you out free appreciating stablecoin. You just start mining FUSD. We've already got, I think, between $30,000 and $50,000 waiting to be paid out, and that will continue to be paid every single day. So kind of FUST is like the key to just consistently earn this appreciating stable. And the beauty of that is that both tokens working together operates like a seesaw effect. You actually become, on FUST, you have the chance of that 100x, the 1000x. But actually, if the price drops, you really don't care, because if everyone's selling, it means that no one's mining. And if no one's mining, you're getting, if not all or a big chunk of the FUSD that's being paid out of the mining system. But on the other side, if everyone's mining FUSD, then the price has to continually go up on FUST. So if you're getting less rewards because everyone wants to mine FUSD, then you know that your FUST bag is going up because they're not selling, because they're mining. So it operates like a seesaw effect, and you kind of become less worried about the price of your FUST, because you go, well, if that's not at a price I want to sell at, that's not a problem, because now I'm earning even more of this appreciating stable token. And over there, we want people to continue to sell what they're earning and buy other assets with it and reinvest it and buy products with it, because it pushes our price up even further.
Right, so that's being on sale right now on Pink Sale and Genpact right now. So as long as you're holding FUST, you continue to earn FUSD, which is the appreciating stablecoin.
Yes, and yeah, so obviously, so far we've discussed kind of the arbitrage income, the dripper system, the taxation model of FUSD, but with FUST, there is equally a tax, because this you can earn that 1000x. That's completely possible over here. On FUSD, the tokenomics don't allow for that overnight spike. It will just always go up, might be by a cent, couple of cents, fractions of a cent, depending on volume, it will just always go up. But you can earn really good money over on FUST, but there is a tax on that, which is 5% buy and 10% sell. Now, we don't pay rewards to FUST holders. Your reward is mine FUSD. Plug that in and mine it. That's like the utility, if you like. But those taxes, again, go back into buying FUSD and putting that back into the miner. So now the people mining are now earning even more, because now we have an income coming from the taxes of another token into FUSD and into the mining system. We then have income from the arbitrage going into that, and we also have income or the dripper function feeding the overall price. So it's a complete circular economy. And again, you've got that chance of making the big money over there on FUST. But actually, if the price drops below what you paid for it, does it really matter? Because you go, well, because the price is going down over here, I'm actually earning more of this appreciating stable coin, which is never going to go down. So if you're not earning it here, you're earning it over there. Does it make sense? I know it's quite complicated to get your head round initially, but in my mind, it makes complete sense.
It does make sense. It does make sense. It's like it's almost like yin and yang, right? It's a dual token economic protocol in a ways where one's relying on each other, but then it all comes together in harmony in a sense, right? To benefit one another. It does make sense, which is actually very unique. Now,
sorry, I'll just add, with any kind of marketing and consultancy job that anyone does, if you're a professional, you've got to look at problems. 9 times out of 10, when people are approaching us, it's not because they're making money hand out over fist. It's generally, there's something wrong. How do we fix this? So as a business consultant and a marketing consultant, it's identifying problems. And all we've done with our own ecosystem is try to identify industry-based problems. And if you look at farming pools and staking mechanics and things like this, generally, people are being paid in the same token that they're involved in. the problem with that is if that token spirals down in price, then all you've done is you've earned something that equally is as worthless as the token you was holding. But if you can spin that and you can flip it and say, well, actually, everything I'm earning is always going to appreciate in price, then you've solved the problem. I mean, I could say, well, actually, I'm earning 10 ETH a day staking on this ETH farming pool or a staking pool. But if next week that ETH's worth $1 each, then what have I earned? $10 a day. So it kind of doesn't make sense. But this system makes complete sense because you're holding one token, which again is volatile tokenomics, but you can take your profit out of the top. And we actually want people, if someone gets a 10x, please sell. We're not going to be begging you to hold. Sell, because when you sell, you're going to pay 10% of what you've earned, and that's going to go back into the miner to give the people left that are mining even more rewards. So they might jump from earning $20 a day to $40 a day because everyone's selling over here. So again, you're just not worried about what's happening over on the FUST. But if you do see that 10, 20, 50, 100x, by all means, take your profit, because you're just going to feed the mining system even more.
Could you go into the details of the taxes on the FUST there, Nathan? Where are those taxes going?
Right, we have everything. Everything is split, all funds into the ecosystem. So taxes on all sides. Arbitrage income is split into equally into 5 places. Now, if you're looking at FUST, it's 5% taxes in and 10% taxes when you sell. Now, a fifth of that goes into the dripper system, a fifth goes into marketing, a fifth into development, and a fifth goes into buying FUSD and adding that back into the mining system. And obviously dependent, we've got the whole company is owned by the CMC group, the crypto marketing company. So that's our sister company. So the other fifth goes straight back into the CMC business, which then covers our costs as the whole ecosystem of staff costs, running the magazine, and all income from every CMC brand operates on a similar way.
Okay. All right. So 5% in, 10% out.
That's correct.
It's 1/5 triple marketing under CMC. Now, I do want to get to the CMC group. So it seems to me that CMC is kind of like the mother company, and you have all these entities underneath it, right? And and let's talk about that in detail a bit here. What does CMC involve? Tell me all the entity that's under CMC.
Yeah, well, we CMC stands for Crypto Marketing Company, not CoinMarketCap. A few people make that mistake, but it's it's the Crypto Marketing Company, and we're a marketing and media based business. We advise individuals, we've advised celebrities, and we have a number of brands under that. This is kind of all of those brands feed together in some way, but neither of them are in competition with the other. So we have Crypto Magazine, which is our printed publication. That's available in stores around the world. In the US, you'll find us in Barnes & Noble, selected Walmart stores, 7-Eleven. In the UK, you'll find us in WH Smith's, Tesco's, and a lot of the superstores over here. We're available in Canada, Dubai, Australia. So that's our printed brand. We also own Crypto Weekly, which is our digital brand. So you subscribe to the magazine digitally, and it's emailed to you every issue. That just comes via your email box, and you flip the pages, you can read through. We find Crypto Weekly is more your experienced investor, whereas Crypto Magazine is a combination of both experienced and new investors, because it could just be Mrs. Jones out shopping in Walmart, sees the Crypto Magazine on the newsstand or at the till and says, "Oh, my husband likes that crypto thing. Let's just grab it." But it's actually a very good way of helping with mass adoption globally, because people find it hard to trust what they read online. And as I say so many times, you don't know what's a scam, what's fake. But if you can walk into a store that you trust and a brand that you know and pick something physical up in your hand, it holds a lot more weight psychologically. So again, that's kind of, that's offered to projects that want to advertise. We fully vet every project. We also have, again, the Crypto Marketing Company, which is a marketing agency. And when I say marketing agency, we build tactical marketing plans. We don't, most marketing companies out there, they're not marketing agencies. They're just service providers. They're people that will get you some botted influencers or some trending. We actually build a plan based on what needs to be achieved at each step, and how to get in front of real audiences. So we've got that. We've just launched Liquid NFTs under the same brand, and we are looking at integrating FUSD into that. So what Liquid is, the website is liquidnfts.finance. And what that is it's, again, solving the problems of NFTs consistently dropping in price. Whenever you mint an NFT on the Liquid NFT platform, at the point of mint, 50% of whatever you're paying for that is locked into your NFT. You're the only person that can access it. And then, very much like the way that FUSD builds up, your liquidity builds up as well. So if your liquidity is increasing all the time of the asset that you own, then the resale price is equally going to increase. Whenever you sell that, again, there is a tax side of things, but when you sell that, that tax goes back to increasing everyone else's liquidity. So when you sell your NFT, your liquidity goes with it. And if ever you don't want to sell it, you can redeem instantly just by clicking redeem, and it drops that corresponding liquidity straight into your wallet, and it burns the NFT from existence, which then lowers the supply of that particular collection, therefore increasing the floor price. So we've got Crypto Magazine, we've got Crypto Weekly, we have Liquid NFTs, and we also have CMC Coin. CMC Coin is really, it's not something that we've really ever marketed. That's our shareholders. So a percentage of all of our income from the whole CMC group, from all of these aspects, like I said to you, that 20% goes into one pot. Out of that pot, we then pay our CMC holders a percentage of our company profits from all of our brands underneath. So we're always adding more brands. As soon as we think there's a problem in the industry, we try and solve it. We sit down and go, let's do this, and try and make the industry a lot stronger, a lot better.
Okay, I appreciate the breakdown there. Okay, so you guys do have a CMCC coin, which is the Crypto Marketing Company coin, which is the mother, yep. I guess the entity, the mother entity of the whole company here. But so they do get UFSD payout as well. So I guess there is a yield rewards by holding the coin through FUSD, correct?
Yeah, well, at the moment, all of our rewards is all of our company, like the company profits and taxes, everything else, that is currently paid out in USDT. But to me, it makes no sense to continue to pay out in USDT because it's always a dollar. So we will be switching all of our payment systems over to FUSD, which then every time we make a payment, we have to do a buy on the chart, which then increases the price, and we then start paying people FUSD. So that side of things and the liquid and everything else then again feeds back into the fused ecosystem, increasing that price. So none of our business models interfere or are in competition with another. They're all completely unique, but all feed back to each other in a sustainable ecosystem, but based on bringing new revenue into the business. When you just recycle the same funds, you can't grow. So we have people going into Barnes & Noble buying magazines at $15.99. We have people spending money. We have advertisers coming in, advertising in the publication, paying us for marketing advice. So all of this is business funds coming in that then comes in and gets distributed out accordingly.
I mean, it just makes more sense if you guys are paying rewards with FUSD instead of FUST. You know, with this new appreciating stable coins that you guys are doing. Now, let me ask you this, Nathan. So let's say right now you have CMCC, and now you are doing a pre-sale FUST, and they both earn FUSD, which is the appreciating stable coins. Listeners right now to say, okay, what can I do with CMCC, or what are the differences, and what would you say is better in a sense?
See, the way that we explain it is, if you look at CMC, is that's a holder's coin. There's just no there's no point trading, or whether, I mean, there is, if the price goes up, you're welcome to, but it's designed for people to hold. We look at the CMCC coin as our shareholders. This is like you owning Apple stocks, whereas 25% of our profits get fed back to those guys in rewards. So again, they're not overly worried about the price of the token. They become more focused on, we want to see the success of the business. And the more the business earns, the more we earn as shareholders of that business. So that's like the mentality of it. But the rest of the ecosystem is kind of designed so that investors can buy NFTs, they can buy tokens, they know they've got a good chance of earning, but we're equally reducing their losses at every stage using cleverly placed liquidity that only they can access, that other people can't.
Okay, makes sense. How long? So, guys, if you guys are listening right now, you guys can go ahead and participate in the pre-sale on Gempad or Presale, and the link is on that banner there that we just posted a couple of days ago. So make sure you check them out.
If we just for clarity, I know, because we've covered a hell of a lot, and when you actually look at the whole ecosystem, you go, wow, like there's this going on there and that going on over there. Each entity is run with a unique team, and what we're speaking about kind of here is FUST. The FUSD token comes 2 weeks later. FUST is what will allow you to mine free FUSD. And the more people that mine, the less sales they are, so the higher the FUST token will move.
Now, I know you spoke on a little bit about the fusion pool. Let's get back to that. What does that do, and how does it benefit, let's say, current developers right now? Or let's say if I was into a project that's not doing very well, and I'd like to participate into the fusion pool. Could we go more in depth on that, then, Nathan?
Yeah, well, again, if we don't, I don't want to confuse kind of the fusion miner with the pool. That the mining system is paying you out FUSD, but we do have another element that will be coming. It's not something that's going to be immediate. We need to kind of get the traction on these tokens, get the marketing moving, get everything pushed. But then we will be launching what we're calling the fusion pool. And effectively what that is it's taking rugged tokens, it's taking maybe failed tokens where developers really don't know where to go anymore. And they're just saying, look, we've bitten off more than we can chew. Generally, these developers end up under a lot of pressure, a a lot of the tokenomics haven't failed because they've been stealing money. It generally failed just because they're out their depth. They thought it was easy and what it is. So with those developers, what they can do is they can come to us and say, look, and the one thing that we're not short of in this space is failed projects. I mean, by 100,000-fold, there are more failed projects than there are successful in this industry. So what we're saying is each of these failed projects generally have liquidity in them. So what a developer can do is to come to us and go, look, we would like to, we can't take this on anymore. We can't run with it. We look at that and say, well, okay, the tokenomics are wrong here, or you've run out of funds. But they can actually send across their liquidity tokens to us. We add that to FUST, and we then will airdrop their holders the current value of FUST. So effectively, what we're doing is taking all of the failed projects, which, I mean, I was looking at these stats last month, and there was roughly, end of 2024. Throughout 2024, there was between 500,000 and 800,000 failed projects every single month in this space. A lot of them were scams, but a lot of them were genuine projects with liquidity. If you can take all of these and say, well, look, well, now what we can do is we'll take that liquidity, we add it into FUST, we will send you your corresponding tokens to their holders. Our holder count then increases. If they've got 1,000 holders, we effectively just take over another 1,000 holders. But then those people that are probably now right at the very bottom price-wise can now say, well, now we're now part of another ecosystem where these guys do know what they're doing. They're in this for the long term. They've been around for years, and they can use those FUST to now start mining FUSD, the appreciating stablecoin, and start recouping some of their losses. And again, if those guys want to, if we do a headX and they want to sell, then off you go. We've managed to save someone else's investment. But again, those taxes are then going to come back into the system again. So yeah, we will also be building out a system, whereas if developers have just left, or if you've got a project where ownership's renounced, liquidity is locked, and you can't access that liquidity, we will allow projects to come in and investors to migrate their tokens themselves as investors, which then will take that locked liquidity out and move it over into FUST. So, I mean, from a business aspect, you want to focus on the biggest potential market. And in all fairness, and it sounds horrible to say it, but the biggest possible market in this industry is failed tokens. That is the biggest chunk of this industry. So focus on that. If you've got 100 projects that come over, each with $10,000 liquidity in it, we've just now added another $1 million liquidity straight into the FUST ecosystem, and potentially pulled in God knows how many thousands of new investors that are then getting behind the project. So it's the fusion pool is a way of bringing all of these tokens that may only have a few dollars or a few $1,000s liquidity and go, well, look, we can give your holders another chance. Come into the FUST. So we create one super project backed by stability, made up of all of the failed projects that are failing at a rate of tens of thousands a day. And that's, I couldn't actually even believe that number when I started researching the statistics and the facts. But I mean, back when I was looking, I think it was June, July, August, on Solana alone, there was just under 500,000 tokens launching every month. It's insane when you look at those figures and go, wow.
It is.
The money that investors have lost is incredible.
It is. Unfortunately, it is. It's consists of, I would say, probably to like 98% failed projects. And we have dead LPs sitting everywhere, right? Pretty much money locked in dead projects. It's crazy, actually. You're 100% correct. You know what? This fusion pool is actually very interesting. interesting. Now, Nathan, when are you guys planning to have this protocol? Where do you foresee this? Where's that on the plan?
It's already being built, and certain aspects are being tested at the moment. If everything goes to plan, and I'm always very, very reluctant to give dates, because if you can't stick to those dates for whatever reason, it just creates FUDs and people go, oh, you said this. But we're aiming within 6 to 8 weeks to have the fusion pool up and running. As we know, with development, things can come up, but that's when, and then that becomes a completely new part of the ecosystem, generating new holders, new investment. But you kind of, what do people do if they're in a failed project? Generally, your token price moves to such a low level that you go, I'd rather just not even bother selling. I put in $500, it's now worth $5. What do I do? Well, we can actually create incentives there and say, well, pull them over and put that into the FUST system, start mining your appreciating stablecoin, and watch your price increase here. But now it's more liquidity. We've now got another revenue, another liquidity revenue into FUST, and more holders looking at the whole ecosystem.
Correct. Now, I do see like another feature that you have within your ecosystem is the uncollateralized loan, which is the flash loan. What is that about?
Yeah.
How does it get back into the ecosystem, and at what percent? And the profit from that, where is the profit from that going?
Okay, now I would just, for full transparency, we've put the flash loan function on hold for the time being, only because our developers have identified a couple of elements that may be a security risk. And I'm not willing to expose any of our holders to anything that even may have a 0.1% chance of having a security risk. So we've put that on hold. But what the flash loan function was set to do, it allows people to borrow money from the FUSD contract. And what the FUSD contract does is it's arbitrage bots that were borrowing the money. And what it effectively done was it identified whether there was a profit on that arbitrage. If there was, in a split second, it would give the money to the arbitrage bot. It would take 0.15% interest and then take the funds back within one transaction. So it allows other arbitrage bots to actually go, well, I don't need $100,000 sitting here in arbitrage funds. I can use this flash loan function and I will just give the contract a percentage of the profits. But there is a couple of parts of it that we're not 100% happy. So we've removed the flash loan function for now, but it is something that we're working on. Anything that we do, the fact that we are fully doxed, we are a registered limited company in the UK. We are a big brand with a magazine. We're not willing to put any of that at risk, even in the slightest. So, yeah. So we've put that on hold for the time being. So the flash loan function won't be in operation for now, but we are working on what we can do to make sure to try and get that done. And all that will do is it will just, if we've got $4 or $5 million coming in every day in arbitrage trades from other bots, it just takes 0.15% of that and feeds that back into the price of FUSD.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So that's being on a hold right now for safety reasons. Okay, yeah. Sounds good. All right, guys. So right now, just to recap, the pre-sales are going on right now over in Gempat and Pinksell. And you can buy into FUST right now to mine FUSD for free. And FUSD is an appreciating stablecoin. So that's going on right now. So click on the links if you guys are interested, and you can participate in the pre-sale. Now, how many more hours do we have, Nathan?
I'm going to ask Adele and Drew that question. I think it's a couple of hours. How long's left of the pre-sale, guys?
Yeah, we've got 2 hours, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes.
Two
Okay.
No,
2 hours, 2
2
hours
hours
and
and
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I'm glad we have 2 hours left.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well,
after that, the FUST goes live to the public on the 19th. So we have about 3 days. It will go live on Thursday, but the pre-sale ends, which allows us to calculate all the final figures, get the marketing campaign moving, and yeah, start to push this forward. But as of day one, because FUSD isn't going to be live at the launch of FUST. All of the funds generated via the arbitrage bot, via the taxes on FUST, they sit in a pot, and that's all just going to be ready to put straight into the miner. At the moment, we already have between $30,000 and $50,000 going into the miner. So you could literally buy $100 worth of FUST. If you're the only person mining, then you're going to get the entirety of that mining pool, because it pays out equal amounts and then it's topped up all the time as well. So it could be very profitable. APR wise, we don't know what it will be APR until it's launched, because it's completely dependent on how many people are mining. But the good thing is, the more people that are mining, the less people are selling FUST, and the higher that price will go. The less people that are mining, the more you're getting from mining. So it acts like that seesaw effect. When one isn't doing brilliantly, the other one's doing amazingly.
correct. Now, during the process of the transactions of mining, is there a fee to mine FUSD?
No. All that you have to do is you lock in your FUST. That will dictate how much you're allowed to mine, and it's there's a 30-day period that you lock your FUST tokens in for. It is a set 30 days, so after that you'll just be continually there until you decide to remove them. If you pull out within that 30 days, because I don't know, if FUST's done a 100x and you go, do you know what, I'm not interested in a few dollars of FUSD, I want to go and sell now and take my profit, you can do that, but there'll be a 5% fee on removing them within the 30 days. And that 5% goes back into the miner to reward the people that are staying there. So as people come out, it boosts the mining protocol even more to give everyone else more rewards every day that they're mining.
Okay, so 30 days locked period. After that,
yeah,
there's no penalty. You can leave it there, or you can take it out. There's no penalty at all.
Yeah. You can take it out after 2 days if you want, but there will be a 5% penalty. So if you put in $100, you're going to pay $5. If you put in 1,000, you'll pay $50.
And that 5% is being used to get more FUSD to the miner.
Yes. So at the point that comes out, it does a buy on the FUSD chart, and it puts that FUSD into the miner to go, this guy's gone, but don't worry, now there's one less person mining, so you all get a bit more anyway, and now there's more money in there to be mined, so you get more again, so you benefit twice by continuing to mine. Yeah, so I think we've tried to cover every potential pitfall, and it's taken us a year, 18 months to actually iron out everything and have this looked at by some insanely clever people in this industry. Like we said, we're business people, we're not techies. So we rely on the networks that we've built up over the years to give us that tech advice where that's their speciality. So, yeah, we stay in our lane and let other people stay in their lane.
Now,
I mean,
you guys, the mother company again is under CMC, which is not CoinMarketCap, guys. But how long has this entity been around?
We've been running now since 2020. We changed the way that our company was working again about 18 months ago. So we actually shut one limited company down and created the same name but as a separate entity, so that we could actually split. It was for taxation purposes. I'm a strong believer that I want the funds staying in the business and going back to holders and investors. I don't want it going. I don't want the government taking half of everything that's being generated. So we made some changes, but the business itself has been running for over 5 years now.
Okay, 5 years. All right, sounds good, Nathan. I think we pretty much covered everything, and I'd like to wrap this up so that way our investor can actually look deeper into the project if they want to, and give them some time to protect into the pre-sales if they want to as well, because we run like less than 2 hours left on the pre-sales, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions, or if people want to jump into if you want to wrap this up, if they want to jump into our Telegram group and ask any questions, myself, the team will be happy to answer them over there. It's really not a problem.
Sounds good. You know what? I think that's probably the best idea, guys. So after this here, we're going to post a TG, okay? If you guys go over there, do not spam the room. I know there's a lot of questions in the room, but usually during the AMA, 90% of the questions been answered. But if you do have questions, go over there. Maybe a feedback on the AMA. Do not spam the room. Mike is going to go there and maybe pick like a $10 winner. But ask your questions over there. You know, when I looked at the team, I always say I always invest into the team. The team, not only they've been running a marketing company for a very long time, very experienced, not on the Web 2 business side of it, but also the Web 3 as well. And they've been around for a very long time. And I think there's actually this appreciating stablecoin, which is USD, FUSD, which is actually very unique, right? 2.5%, that's not going to deter from people, high traders, but at the same time, it allows the asset to continue in value, which is actually very unique. But to get that, you got to have FUST, which is a token that's on sale right now, and that gives you access to mine FUSD for free. Great presentation, Nathan. Yeah, great presentation. And I think we pretty much covered everything. Did we miss anything that you can think of?
No, I don't think the only thing we haven't covered is the circumference of the moon. I mean, we've been quite in depth. So it's, yeah, no, again, I'll happily answer any questions if anyone's got. You're welcome to kind of research us, research the team. We're fully doxed, and we're very well known within the industry. So yeah, I appreciate you guys having us on. It's been really enjoyable, and yeah, hopefully we'll be floating around USA crypto a little bit more often.
Yeah, and the fusion pool, I think that's actually a very unique concept. You know, tap into an area that pretty much sitting there dead, right? And I think that's going to really raise awareness to your stablecoin and get that coin for mass adoption and being utilized. So that is 6 to 8 weeks away, you said?
The fusion pool, yeah, we're working on it at the moment. As I say, I don't like giving dates, but our aims are to have that within a couple of months up and running. But again, it's a complete, as much as it's part of the same ecosystem, that needs to be run with, like, as a business in its own right, with teams on hand to talk to developers, speak to investors, deal with that onboarding mechanism, get liquidity sent over, and make sure that there's no scams going on. So we've got to work on not only just building the platform and building the DApp, but we also need to implement a competent team that is able to do that. So, but that is something that's working at the moment. But the good thing is the FUST and FUSD is not reliant on that. That is just going to be icing on the cake. That's just, well, wow, that's another thing that's going to come later on.
Correct. Sounds great. All right, Mike, is there any giveaway to do? If not, then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys, and we'll post the TG into our chat room. Make sure you follow up, read the white paper, join the TG, ask questions over there. Mike, you still there, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get up the wheel here. Type down everybody's name. And we are going to award one lucky listener. Let me shuffle this up, guys. I'll grab my winner. Campfire is our lucky winner. Congratulations, Campfire. That's it for the wheel. And like Seattle did mention, that we will also be awarding $10 for one lucky joiner over to the FUST team and their Telegram. But in order to win, you also had to participate in the AMA. So I'll be checking everybody as well. We're also going to follow up. Let me see here. With the YouTube posting, there'll be another opportunity over there. And we'll also get that recording over to you, Nate and Drew and Ellie. And we're also going to follow up with the X. There's a $15 opportunity over there. All this will be posted shortly here. And that was a great AMA, guys. It's good having you guys in today. And I know we have one coming up in the future, and I'm looking forward to the post-AMA.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to host us, and it's been really refreshing to see you guys really do your research before we jumped on as well. It's good to deal with professional AMA hosts.
I appreciate it, Nathan. It's a pleasure, getting to know your team as well, and we will be working a lot more in the future.
It sounds good to me. I look forward to it.
Mike, usually we would have like a random number just for fun, but I tell you what, given the time frame of the pre-sale, why don't we pause that, guys? We're going to go ahead and pin their TG, okay? Go over there, join their TG, do further research. Maybe later, an hour from now, Mike, we can do that random number, right? But I feel like right now, given the time frame, I just don't want to open the room and just wasting time over in our chat room. So why don't we?
Yeah, sounds good. Agreed. We'll look back into the room in about an hour. We'll get that random number going away. But in order to win that random number, you'd have to be a participant right now as well. So I do have all the names. We'll be checking. And good luck to everybody in that hour when it does come. And like Seattle said, if you enjoyed the AMA, do further research. The pre-sale is still going on, just under 2 hours left to go. And participate if you feel like this is going to be a good fit for you. And again, great AMA.
Thank you ever so much, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Sounds good, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you guys over there. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.